Hi everybody, welcome to Big OGGIE Golf, welcome to Devon, welcome to CHURSTON Golf Club, welcome to a driver lesson with Dan Hendriksen. If you follow my channel, you know I have the occasional lesson with Dan. Had some last year and completely forgot them. What you do, you're now going to see a little piece of footage that we did last year, which I just found on my phone to improve my driver. And we're going to cut in to the whole new lesson. This is the start of a whole new ball game for me. Let's see how we get on.
The focus that we've had today is the shoulders really dictate where your swing direction and in turn your swing path is going to be.
Okay.
So, and this is what a lot of people miss out on, is they get their shoulders this way. Okay, so if you're swinging out to in, which is where you're at, your shoulders was first and foremost pointing left. So they're promoting this action going left on you. So what we're going to try and do is we're going to feel like the left shoulder is wanting to tilt this way. So a good drill for this is left hand on the club. Okay. Find that position. Right hand down the side, and you're going to tilt and push your hip towards the target, not your whole body.
No, it's the hip that's been
the hip tilts towards the target, and then you'll feel like a little tilt to the right with your right shoulder dropping down. Okay. This hand drops down to the right knee. Okay. Okay. Then we bring the left shoulder round a fraction. Okay. This is moving the whole shoulder path this way. Okay. Then bring the hand onto it here, and then the visual for you is coming more into here, so inside to then away. Out, isn't it? So you're trying to feel, you're trying to visualize more of that way as a path, not straight back, straight through. No. From inside here to outside. Sweep it out and let it come round. Correct. So you're in here, out there, and the club head will create a little wake as it comes through. So you want to try and focus on that as a line. So putting a little T-peg out to the right-hand side where the ball is, you can see that point is probably a foot outside there and up. Okay. That's where you're trying to get the club to move from here to out to there, into here, out to there. Okay, we're trying to change swing path. You've gone from a swing path of around 5, sometimes 6 on the golf course. You might move to 7, out to in. To today, we've moved you to probably about 2 degrees in to out. Okay. All right, and that's such an important point. Right, just want you to hit a few. Let's get you warmed up. Okay. And see what you're getting.
Okay, so I started to remember stuff you told me to do.
Yeah.
So it was like stay straight first, and then hip out. Yeah. Slide down.
Slight tilt.
And then pull this round.
Yeah. So if you remember, you were a big mover down the left-hand side. Yeah. Okay. So the shoulders were set very open at address. Yeah. And the key thing to remember with this is that your hand path and everything will tend to follow your shoulder line. Okay? So your feet, I don't really care where your feet are. That might just give you a reference point to where your shoulders are going to want to point. But we got you tilting this way because we're trying to hit that angle of attack more up as we come through, because we were very much on top of it and down. So by tilting this way, pelvis getting bumped towards the target this way, hips this way, and then shoulders drop and then just bring in here, and that'll help you create that more into out path is what we were trying to get. That's kind of an overview.
Also, in the end, trying to fire the ball, trying to fire the club further out, not dragging it in.
Correct, yeah. Correct.
Like I said, it's been a long time since we had the lesson, and I just forgot. Yeah. So, especially when you're on the course and you're fun of filming, you've got to go on that drive, and then you forget everything. And then halfway round you go, should I have done that?
And if you remember when we were at West Cornwall, playing on the vlog, we were talking about it briefly as you were going around the golf course, and there was a few attempts where you got it right, and the difference in the flight was just, it was day and night.
Yeah, I'm not expecting miracles today. I just need to get this fixed so that I can go back to practice and bring it in.
Yeah, get your mindset in the right place. Okay, good. Nice, John. Better launch. The launch on that. just going to show you some numbers, okay, before we carry on. I know you're just still kind of warming up a little bit, but... Yeah, can you see these numbers here? You've got 1200 revs, 1600 revs, and 1700 revs, okay? These are the ones that you're talking about dropping out the sky. 100%. That last shot you hit has got 3,500 revs on it.
Right.
Okay, if we then go and look at why that's actually happening, so we're launching it at 17.1 on an average.
Okay.
Average carry of 171, total distance around the sort of 190 to 200 mark.
Which
That's not bad.
I'm happy if I could get it to like carry about 190, I'd be really happy. But I'm not expecting to be miracles here.
Yeah. So, this is perfect because what I need you to be mindful of is that you're hitting, and this is where, if you were doing a lesson, if we didn't have these machines here, okay, and we were doing a lesson, you would have seen the ball flight moving from right to left. So those people watching now will have seen your ball flight moving a little bit from right to left as it's drawing back towards the target, okay? And then the last shot just leaked out to the right hand side out of those 4 shots there. But you can see the difference in your spin numbers, the 3 at the beginning which were drawing a little bit, okay?
It tends to be, has always been my natural kind of thing, flight draw. Okay.
Now, this is where your golf swing is almost like the flight of the ball is cheating here. Because you could argue that actually, if I was watching you swing and watch you hit a few shots on the range, I'd see that ball flight moving from right to left. I'd be looking at it going, oh, you know, the ball flight laws tell me that you're starting at right of target and it's drawing back towards the target. A draw. Okay, so anything that starts right of target draws back towards the target for a right-handed golfer is a draw. If you leak it out to the right-hand side, you're kind of just hitting a little push or a push cut. Well, if you now look at the numbers of this, so angle of attack is quite a way up. Okay. So we're over-exaggerating that a little bit. You've got it averaging at 9.2 up, which is amazing considering you were very much down the last time I saw you. So take the positives. You've made some changes, okay, subconsciously, consciously, whatever it is that you're doing, but you've made changes to help you change your angle of attack into the ball. So thumbs up to that. You've done a great job in that. One of the things that you were quite extreme was you were very much out to in. So you were in the sort of higher, close up to 10-ish.
Almost slicing through the ball on impact.
Correct. So you had a sliced swing, so you were coming across the ball from out to in by close to 10 degrees with a face that's open to that path, which was always causing you to hit that shot. Combination of hitting down on the ball, chopping across it, massive loss of distance. Okay, your efficiency wasn't there.
Absolutely.
However, this is where we've got to be careful when we talk about cheating. The ball flight laws are cheating you and cheating your eyes with what you're seeing on the golf course, okay? Because your swing path is still, on an average, 5 degrees out to in. Okay? Now, the other thing, okay, so you've gone from 6 to tidy. Or I remember I said that rule of 2. We were always trying to get you in the round. I don't care whether you're 2 degrees out to in, 2 degrees into out. It doesn't bother me as long as you're kind of in that region there. That's a good base position to be in. But on average, you're around 5 degrees, which Colin Montgomery was around 5 degrees out to in. So there's no dramas.
Good people could be 5 degrees.
Correct. You've just got to manage the face depending on what you're doing, or manage the strike, which we'll come on to in a minute. On an average, your face is now open to that path by 4 degrees. So your swing is going slightly left, but your face is aiming slightly right to that position. And the combination of that is that if you can kind of marry up between your target line, path going this way, and face kind of sitting in between the 2 numbers, then you're pretty much going to hit target most of the time. Again, dependent on your strike location on the face. Okay. But if you look at it, it's 7 degrees open, 1.6, 1.9, and 4.9. So they're all quiet numbers, which is quite nice. Okay, so there's not those big extremes that we used to have. So
I'm still a 29 handicapper. I'm expecting.
Be positive.
Variables.
Yeah, you're going to get variables. We all do. But be positive in the fact that the changes that you've made are positive changes. Now here is where the ball is lying to you. Because at the moment you're thinking, and from people watching this video now would have thought that your swing path, based on the ball flight, that your swing path should have been in to out with a slightly closed club face. Well, it's not, is it? No. So how on earth is your ball turning over? Strike.
Okay.
Okay, so gear effect with that driver. That driver is helping you keep that ball straight and narrow. Okay. Okay, so it's helping you hit the draw. Your strike location is 17 millimeters in the toe, 32 millimeters in the toe, and 32 millimeters in the toe.
Everyone.
Except for one.
Except for one, yeah.
Which was the last shot you hit, which was bang on in the middle of the club.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, when you get a toe strike, certainly high on the face and in the toe, your spin numbers are going to drop off. The numbers that we saw in the first 3 shots that you hit, spin numbers are really low. Those dippy shots that you see on the golf course.
Happens all the time. They just go out there and they just literally stop in mid-air and drop them.
Correct. And that's because you've caught them high in the face and in the toe.
Okay.
So your spin numbers are going to drop right down. The other one though, the last one you hit, which was 3,500 revs, which was so much more extreme compared to the first 3, which left right, where your path was out to in, your face was open to that path by approximately pretty much the same, 0.5 difference on okay? But the difference was you hit it lower in the face and you hit it out the middle of the bat. End result, your club is now not helping you.
Right, okay.
It's not saving your shot. So what it's done is its strike position has gone lower in the face and low in the face but in the middle of the bat. Therefore that gear effect that was helping that ball turn over and hold its flight is no longer there to help you.
Okay.
So then the strike being low in the face is always going to spin the ball up a little bit more anyway.
Okay.
But now what's happening is the ball flight is being created by what you're doing here.
Right. Okay. So my, obviously looking at that, my thought process is if it's in the middle of the club, that's where it should be. But it's kind of proved with everything else here that isn't the case on those.
The facts are that we all strike, you know, we're all different and we all strike the ball, we all strike it in a different space in the club. And what's good about what you've done is certainly the first 3 shots, they're all consistently out the toe.
Okay. So there is a consistency.
There's a consistent thing going on there. Okay. However, the one that you actually hit out the middle produces the worst shot.
Yeah. Which doesn't compute.
You'll then turn around in a way and discuss and go, oh, it was rubbish or whatever it is. But actually, it was actually your best, not necessarily your best swing, but it was your best strike. Yeah. Even though it was slightly low in the face, it was still your better, more consistent strike out the middle, should we say? But what it indicates, what from a coaching point of view, ultimately, what I'm now trying to think about doing with this is, I just want to quieten this down a little bit. Okay. Not extreme, but just quieten it down a little bit. You've gone a little bit extreme in the hitting up on the ball. Okay. Okay. So your spin loft is going to come down. So your spin numbers are going to reduce because you're trying to change. So spin loft and the loft or the spin that you put on the ball is created by what we call spin loft. Okay. Okay. And that's the angle between your angle of attack into the ball and the loft that you create. And as those angles change and get bigger, your spin numbers increase. Okay. Okay. So if you've got a face that's wide open to the path, you're generally going to add more loft on the club, and in turn will add more spin. Okay, you're getting more deflection, but you get more spin. Well, because you're hitting up on it so much and you're delivering that loft, that spin loft number, that angle is getting closer and closer together, so your spin numbers reduce. Sure. Which is what the likes of Rory McIlroy and all these people that hit the ball out there at 300 and plus yards, they're hitting up on the ball with lower loft numbers, getting those spin numbers down. Ball travels through the air a lot like a bullet. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. If you want to hit potentially, if you want to spin it up a bit more and get maybe a bit more control over the golf ball, okay, then having a slightly higher spin loft is going to help you do that a little bit. Okay, in certain situations. So we're going to just try and reduce this down a fraction. We need to get some control on the golf ball. I don't want it spinning at 1200 revs. I want it spinning at 2000 plus if I can. So we're just going to quieten that down, which we'll talk about that in a minute. This number here is not bad. Like I'm not concerned about that number. But if we could just get it closer to the 2, I'd be happier with that. Sure. And then obviously face being slightly open,
we'll probably focus on face to start with, because I always find that if you get a club people will react to a face more than anything else. Okay, so if we close the face down, your swing path might move more out into out. And then strike location. If we can get that right as well, that will certainly blend in with
Lots
this.
to work on.
Not masses, to be honest with you. Not masses. That we're going to go through that little process now, but not huge amounts from that. This is this is the gas system. Okay. So I'm just going to bring this back to here. Okay. So if we look at this positioning that you've got here, you can see that you're creating what I call the kind of reverse K here. So you've got this position here where you've got that tilt, which we're seeing. Great, fantastic. So this is setup, obviously. Hips are bumped forward towards the target this way, which is all good as well. Okay. So all in all, for a driver off the left heel here, pretty good. Yeah. You can't really argue with that.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
Start position looks pretty good. Let's come over to here, down the line. So shoulders. Talked about your feet now measuring up nicely, hips, shoulders, all in line, yeah? Okay, seeing that left forearm there at address, everything's looking pretty tidy. Okay, if we take you back, all looking good. Love the face just pointing down towards the golf ball, managing that face just quite nicely there, and then taking you to the top of the golf swing.
I'm quite surprised how high I get, because I really think I only do half a swing. Because I'm a big lad, you know, flexibility is not going to be there. So when you see it on camera, it's like, oh, actually, it goes back further than I thought. Yeah, I mean, in your head, you think, well, I'm only doing half a swing. I should try and get further back all the time.
You know, we could jump. I could jump all over you here with a number of key things, and there'll be people watching this video that will go, oh, you know, John's doing this or doing that. You know, you do step up a little bit on your posture here. Okay, and then you've got this arm wraps across your body. If you were to get that arm to go upright more, you'd swing it a bit longer. But there's nothing like there's so many different top players that, you know, Matt Kuchar gets himself into this position, and to be honest with you, I'd like to spend, you know, I'd like to have his game. It wouldn't be too bad. So so all in all, I'm not going to jump on you with this.
We work around who you are.
Of course you do, absolutely. And at the moment, you know, I've not done a physical screening on you, so I don't know where you're at with your body and what your limitations are. So it's more what I'm looking at is what happens when you get onto the downswing, and you can see there that first move. It wants to come. It's the prime over the top move, isn't it? You know, there's lots of people out there that we're watching this, and you've got it on a good position coming back, and then you just desperately want to chuck it over the top a little bit. It's not bad though, John, is it? The numbers indicate that. Can you see that face twisting wide open as you come through there? You see that?
Crazy, isn't it?
Well, that's the toe strike. So that's when you get it out the toe, it rips that club face open because obviously it's just twisting. And that's why gear effect, that's, you know, it's designed to start the ball right of target when you get into that position. Now this hitting up on the golf ball. Okay, look how much you're leaning back there. So you're getting into a position here, and then it's falling, so the club goes over the top of you, and then you start falling back, because basically you're just trying to make room, you're trying to make space to allow the club to come through. There's not a lot of room in my body around, and you make what you can. And look at how much weight is on that kind of back foot there. All the weight is falling off this front foot, leaning still hard into that back foot, and then you're just recovering it with your hands from there. From this position here, taking it to the top. On the way down, your first move is this way. Okay. And then now, already I feel stuck. So I'm here, and now I need to go backwards. I need to fall backwards to allow that club to catch up.
I have to fall back to actually release.
Allow the club to come through. Because if I get it here, and I go now try and drive into the shot with my lower half, that club is travelling from over here. I'm completely stuck. Basically, as you come in, you rise the handle up, and you just basically hit shots like this, like cricket kind of shots. But so getting it to the top of the swing, allowing that club and to be honest with you, John, I'm not looking for a loop of any sort. I just want you to get that club to work down on the way that you took it away.
In the same way. It's the same.
Yeah. So it's going to feel like it's the same. It's going to feel like this on the same plane as it went back. To where it comes down through. So from here, by feeling that you can lead with a bit of a bump forward, it will drop that club into the slot, and then you can drive through from there.
Okay.
A natural progression
Yeah,
for getting that club in the right position from on the way down. As soon as you go out this way, you're getting yourself.
I think with me, I'm trying to like do that bump forward to get the power in, but actually what I'm doing is doing that trigger move with tying it all up.
And as you come down through, it's not that I want the body to really start moving. I want the lower half just to go.
Yeah.
So it looks like I'm transferring that weight here. You can still keep the body behind the ball. Head rotates with it as you come through, okay, allowing the body to open up. But don't be afraid to just feel like it's a drive with the lower half, keeping that back, and then turning with the head as you kind of come through, allowing that club to work in the path that we want.
Okay. Okay.
So from there, I just want you to take it to the top of the swing. Good. From here, leave that behind you for a minute.
Okay.
Start to bump and turn, bump and turn. That now brings that club back down into the correct way.
Right.
When you go, you
Like
lead.
this
You leave this here,
Yep.
and then you lead with this.
So it becomes hands and the
Of course it
body
does.
follows.
You do what I would say 90% of men do. They just chop at it. They throw it from the top. They go at it with the top half.
It's just
I
sequencing,
want you to bump.
isn't it?
I want you to bump with your lower half.
And then that moves.
There you go, and then that brings us
it's sequencing.
straight down.
It's getting your head. This is happening now as well.
Instantly. You haven't really even talked about
Whatever
that.
happens up on there with the ball, the body's now doing.
Always remember, when you make a subtle change in one area, it can affect other things. It can be a little snowball effect on other things around that jigsaw that you're trying to piece together. It's not just about, you've got to change this, this, and this, and this is where people's brains start frying, because they're thinking of 5 different things in the golf swing. That's not what it's about. It's about making one move that will trigger into other areas of the body that we've identified as possibly being a problem. There'll be one reason that will create all these other problems that are going on, because you're... Okay, good. Okay. See that pink T over there, John? On the, no, leave it there.
That one,
I think that you're going to try and swing over
aim that way, yeah.
Yeah. It's not aiming there, it's just getting a sense of feeling.
Yeah, just feeling like you're pushing.
Swinging out to that side, yeah. It's just a visual. That's a good tip for anyone trying to change their path a little bit. Just give themselves a target out there to swing towards. Okay, go again.
Just try to remember everything at the same time. It feels more dynamic. It feels like there's more power through it. I don't know if there is, but it just feels like there's more oomph through your body.
Well, because your body, what you're feeling, your body, when it starts to come this way, you're jamming the brakes on because you're falling backwards. Is that being thrown at 84 mile an hour this way, you're jamming the brakes on. So it's going to feel as though you're stuck, trapped. It's going to feel like you've got no space. By you swinging more from here and swinging away from you, allowing your body to rotate and move with you, it feels like you've got more oomph. It feels like you're managing that speed better.
I certainly think on the course, now the range is I could do that so much freer on the range. Yeah. But on the course, when you think you've only got the one shot, whatever happens here, good, bad, or indifferent, suddenly it's like your brain goes, oh, I just kind of just tighten up and just play safe.
Yeah. I use this thing is you got to lose control to gain control. Okay, and what you're doing is you're seeing the future before it's even happened. So then you're building this picture up in your brain that and that's why then people get anxious about that. If their brain is already seeing the future, they're going to start to build precautions. It's no different than getting on an aeroplane, isn't it? If you see yourself on an aeroplane that it crashes, well, then you're going to struggle to get on. You're going to stress out before you can get on the plane. You know, or you're on a roller coaster and you see yourself coming off that. Same thing. If you see that golf ball going out of bounds or going into the water or topping along the ground or whatever, you're going to put precautionary measures in to manage that situation. No different than anything else.
There's certainly a tendency with high handicappers to just go back to what they know, even though what they know is rubbish.
Yeah, I see it all the time, though. Right, I just want to show you something over here. Now, bearing in mind this is just a practice swing over in on the right hand side, so this is your original swing that you started out with. This on the right hand side is your test swing, should we say, what we're working on. So if we take you both to the top of your golf swings, okay? So people are going to jump on the fact that you're, standing very tall and getting it way up there. I'm not sure what's happening there. Obviously, there's something triggering in your mind without a golf ball being there, which is quite common. Okay.
Yep.
So if we're going to just look at the first moves from the top, so this is your old swing. We talked about that little what feels like a little loop coming over the top a little bit. Can you see that movement there? Mm-hmm. Starts low, starts to get higher,
and then twists.
And then twists. If we look at this move,
it's that pulling rope thing is going down.
Yeah. And then if you kind of look at it from these angles here, look at the difference in the approach in which you're attacking that ball. That club is travelling in from that direction away.
Yep.
This one is travelling in that direction and down and in.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Can you see that on camera there? Can you see the way in which that's travelling down this way? Whereas over here you've got it travelling more down underneath you.
Yeah.
And then the travel, and obviously this is where the release of the club is important at the same time, which we haven't come on to yet, but just a little release a bit earlier if we can.
But even that's interesting because I feel I'm releasing the club. I feel there's more of a, suddenly it's firing out and going past and I'm kind of crossing my arms and it's all...
Well, and then...
What isn't? I'm kind of placing it.
And then if you put this shot, so from this angle, not that I've not looked at this yet, but if we look at these two angles here, again, this is your shot number one. And then your practice routine. Take you to there. Look at the difference in that.
Straight there. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we haven't even talked about your hand action yet, but look at the difference in the transition of weight.
Much more dynamic, in my eyes, the new one.
Yeah, and I'm not saying you can't play golf like this, because you are, but like, it just allows your body to rotate in the correct way. You're getting trapped.
You're going to laugh. I kind of like a golfer on that one. Okay, so my only concern is there wasn't the ball.
No,
so in my head, it's going to go. It might all change because suddenly I've got to hit a ball, and that is a terrible. A ball is a terrible thing because it wants you to, your brain to go change it to where the ball is.
Yeah, because you're reacting, and it's the most common thing is that you're. The focus goes away from the golf swing to now attacking the golf ball.
Yeah.
And this is where people get hesitant and nervous on first tees because they want to react to the golf ball all the time. And that's the thing, you see, that's why you watch these guys on TV go through a routine and all these sort of things that they do, because they're just trying to get their brain to stop thinking about the ball and focus on the move. Allow the ball, you've heard it all the time, just allow the ball to get in the way of your shot, in the way of your swing, and that's what you're trying to do with this. This will take time.
So many times my practice swing, even I've edited sometimes, I do occasionally have a practice swing, feels more loose, more relaxed.
Well, it feels more loose
and then suddenly it's completely different when you go into the ball.
Correct. Because it becomes a reactive game to that ball.
Yeah.
Get to the ball as quick as you can with as much power as you can in the right direction, best you can. So, but if you can focus on the swing and just let the ball get in the way, and this is why you don't necessarily need to hit lots of golf balls with this, but you do need to have a position of where you're coming through the ball. So imagine the ball is there, but you're swinging through that shot.
Okay.
That's more important than you going to a driving range and hitting hundreds of balls. You could do this in the garden by just flicking over the top of daisies or tees or whatever, just to make sure that you're at least going through the correct line. Okay, just do a practice swing before you hit it, just so you've got a visual or a feeling. Remember that tee peg over there as well. Okay, go for it. Like it.
Oh, I felt the wind in the air and then everything.
Yeah, I could see it, John. Flapping away there. It was a beautiful sight, John.
Oh, don't make me laugh. Right. Let it go, John.
Okay, don't worry. Don't worry, just caught the ground.
Okay.
Yeah, when you're ready, just focus on the swing. Okay, toppy.
Yeah.
Okay, weight was a little back on your back start, back foot
yeah.
there a little bit, so you're trying to hit up on it. Don't worry about hitting up on it. Just focus on that move. So those two swings there, the only thing killing you there was the swings looked great, strike was poor.
Yeah.
And that means that, to me, it tells me that the ball position, or should we say the way in which you're hitting the ball, is your low point is too far back. So you need to feel like you're driving into it just that little bit more. Okay, still trying to work it over that tee, yeah?
Yeah. It felt better.
How did it feel?
Felt better. It felt in more control.
Yeah.
Where the figures say that, it felt in more control.
Yeah.
But it also felt less hard.
Okay.
Like you didn't feel like you hit the ball particularly hard.
Quite as hard.
It wasn't there anymore.
Yeah. Okay. Again, path that time now at 3.8 out to in, so path is still a little bit out, and the face is 4 degrees open to that path. So that's why your strike location was closer to the centre, still a little bit low in the face.
Okay.
But again, that's the reason why the ball has gone out to the right hand side. So face and path are just not quite married up together there. In fact, at the moment, it's just making sure that path's still moving over that tee peg.
Yeah, literally have to look at it.
Yeah, it gives you a visual. Okay. Bit left.
Yeah.
Don't often see you hit it left like that, no?
No, we don't. There is a lot of pressure on the camera. Trying to do that. People will say why, Ruth?
What I love already is how much your weight is transferring through now, John. Like, even if you just walked away with that one change at this stage, it's already a good move. So it means our weight is transferring. So that was just a little bit low in the face path. So the face was closed by 5 degrees there.
Right.
So that's good. Like, I want that to happen.
Want that?
Yeah, I do. Because I want it to be changing, and therefore it's gonna, it's gonna start making you swing. If your face is closed, it's gonna hopefully start making you swing a little bit more into out.
I didn't put as much speed into that.
Yeah, and that's not a bad thing. And you've not lost. The thing is, you've not lost any yardage because of that.
No, and that's the funny thing. That I've noticed the last few shots. I've been trying to just go faster.
Yeah, you don't
and
need to hit it.
Just proves you don't need to do that.
No.
The fast ones went out of control, didn't they?
Yeah. Just still focusing on that path. How was that?
That felt easy.
Yeah.
I mean, I may be wrong. It felt like it went a little bit
More towards the heel.
there.
Okay, it was, yeah, 11 millimeters in the heel. If I just look at this move on the ball here, John, and I'm just looking at you on the camera here. So just from this position here on the way down, what I love is how much you're now transferring this weight. This weight is coming off this back foot, driving into the shot, okay? So point number one, even if you walked away, like I said earlier, with just that move there, then love it. Okay. Like, now you're finishing in the correct position. If I compared that to what you were doing in the earlier swing,
I've never finished in a position like that before.
If I put your first swing over here, okay, and took you then through to that position, like it's completely different.
And it felt easy to get into that position.
And
before it would never.
No, because this is what I said. You were jamming the brakes on in this position here, so getting yourself into that place, coming through. If you look at impact there compared to impact over here, like, look at how much weight you've got on this back foot. At least it's driving into this front foot as you come through. And like I said, So if I just look at these numbers down here, okay, and remember, it's always going to be subtle changes to start us off with, but you know, you were averaging 9.2 up on the golf ball. You've got one in there at 12, okay, which is probably just brought those numbers.
Be around.
So you haven't actually changed it a great deal, even though it's saying you've changed it by a degree. You're pretty much the same, aren't you? If you look, there's just one.
There's probably one big one.
One big one that's thrown it out there. So this is something that we need to just keep focusing on. All right, just not focusing on from your point of view, but from mine, I just want to keep an eye on it. Okay. But there's small changes. Okay, these are subtle changes. You were averaging 5 degrees out to in.
Yeah.
Okay. One in there you got really nicely at 2. And I don't, it doesn't, like I said, I don't mind you swinging out to it, it's all fine. A lot of people might jump on you with it, but it doesn't bother me. If you took that one swing out, you would be 5.6, 6.3 and 6. So you're closer to sort of 5.5 to 6 degrees out to in, averaging 5. If you come down here now, we're averaging 3.6.
Yeah, the last, forget the one that's a bit strange, but they're 3.8, 3.3, 3.5, 3.6.
It's small,
but they're the same.
But it's correct, and if you really looked at it and dived into it, you've almost halved it.
Yeah.
And if I can get you to move it 50% every time that you walk out
of it, this is one lesson, and suddenly we've gone half.
Yeah,
so.
It's a process. If I move you now straight into 3 degrees into out, which is not where I want to be, but if I move you 3 degrees into out, the chances are you just block it, everything out to the right hand side, and it will just be even worse.
Yeah.
So I still want you to kind of move into that ballpark, but even like 50% is great. If we look at your numbers of your club face position, 1.1 closed, got a little one out there, which was a little bit out the toe, but it's still open to the path. Okay, still open, a little bit closed, open, and then quietly open at the bottom there. So around 1.9 degrees open compared to 4 degrees open. Okay, so it's small, it's subtle, but it is slowly shifting.
So at the moment, I'm not really thinking about that bit.
The face.
The face.
Yeah.
You give me all these things about put the body forward, let it release. I'm literally probably not in control of that bit mentally.
No, and
it's just doing what it does.
Yeah, correct. And I don't really want you to think about the face at this moment in time.
Okay. At my skill level,
in anybody, because you got to think, how quick is this golf swing? You haven't got a lot of time to react to what that face is doing. You can position it in the right place, and that's why it's always important to analyse it time and time. Because what you can do is you can see if it jumped out that it was massively open or massively closed, then we could start to change that and make a move with that. But at this moment in time, based on the transition of what you feel is giving you more space, is giving you more time to get
which it certainly is, and it certainly feels that.
You're not your club head speed, okay, I'm reading off there, is 89 mile an hour. It hasn't really changed.
Right.
So you swinging it just that little bit softer or a little bit smoother or whatever you feel is quieter, then you're still managing the same speed.
That's actually quite, the last couple, I just felt like I wasn't forcing it anymore.
There are, like I said, at this moment in time, that's what I want you to focus on. I don't need to bombard you with loads of different things. I think that just by you making sure you're getting the right move from the top, and you talk about you trying to hit it harder, what's going to actually happen, and I see this in so many lessons, is that when people go, especially men, when they hit at it harder, they go at it from the top.
Yeah.
We're all top half. We're all top strong.
Full that punching thing,
and what happens is you go at it, you're going to chuck that club this way. So all the time, let the club fall into the position. We talk about it, generalising in some ways, but you talk about watching the women's game and you watch them, they look so smooth, because they don't hit at it. They let it just drop into its position and then let the body rotate out of the way. As men, we do it. We go, and we pull from the top. That club is going to go out here. Now you're back to where you were.
So how does that feel?
I feel like once I've had a few practices, well, a few more range bits, I just let it go.
Yeah.
I can literally relax. It feels like my body's a lot more relaxed when it swings, where before it was, the only way I'm going to get distance is to just put as much effort in as possible.
Yeah.
I've got to kind of, at the moment, forget about maybe some of the control, maybe a little bit wider. It might go a bit wide here and there, but just relax the body. and actually my body won't be in as much pain, because I've been struggling after playing around for a while. You know, the back is an issue. That's probably because of the amount of effort I'm trying to put in, and like I said, all twisted up. If it's more of a flowing move, less pressure on my body. So,
and that is quite an important point there. If you're getting you remember you're swinging this club at 89 mile an hour, okay? If your body's trying to manage that speed and help you, if you get jammed up and stuck, the body's going to start raising up and down, your spine position's going to start moving around as you're twisting and turning at the same time. It's all going to affect the muscles and the body and how it all kind of works from there, okay? Having that freedom and flexibility to be able to move through the shot is going to relax your muscles a lot more. If you get tense and twist, this is where you're going to start to feel the strains and pains in the body.
It literally feels,
yeah,
not effortless, but so much easier.
It should do. It should do, because you're getting that club to work properly and your body can naturally just turn through the swing, turn through the shot.
So I think I concentrate on that for now. Not panic if a few leak out of it here and there on the course. Don't go into that single-mindedness about got to play safe and just get it out there straight-ish. Get my body to work.
But remember, your path is still out to in. So I don't want you to be aiming down the right-hand side.
No, it's still doing the same thing every time.
You need it to start. Your start position should feel like it's just down the left-hand side of the course.
Okay. So if I'm
left
on the
half of the fairway, you should be, because it's only subtle, isn't it? It's only 3 degrees. So you want to be left side of the fairway, just aiming down the left side, and then swing it, and let it naturally fall that way.
A train going by outside, or is that your phone?
And then one...
Because people are going to look at, distances, but distance will happen, but I'm not necessarily... I do want more distance, but I also don't want to be in pain playing. So there's a consistency.
If we just look at these numbers here now, you know, 2.9, 2.4, 3.2 and 3.6. Okay. You kind of want your golf ball to stay in the air. At 1,500 revs on an average up here, that ball is just going to fall out of the sky. You've got to keep it in that position, and that's obviously strike and performance of how you're delivering that club into the ball. But an average of 3,000 revs compared to 2,000 revs, okay, this is going to stay in the air. Yeah, 100%. And you know, okay, the numbers are from a distance-wise. 171 to now 187. I mean, I wouldn't read too much into that. 193 to 205 because you're swinging it a lot slower in the first swings. But I just think if that ball can stay in the air and you can control the ball a little bit better, having a slightly higher spin number is going to do that. Happy?
Very happy. Yeah, like I said, I'm not expecting a miracle cure in one lesson. I just needed to get it back into my head about changing a few things, and that's a big change, man. Big body to change dramatically. Just got to get confidence, go out on the course and do it. Just keep going, keep practicing. Thank you very much to Dan Hendriksen. If you don't subscribe, you probably do, but if you don't, go and see Dan on 2 channels now. And we're going to try and do some more stuff with Dan. Dan's going to be quite closely linked to my channel, and I thank you very much for that. It's a great honour to be involved in what you do and for you to help me. Thank you. And you'll see me on a course very soon. Please subscribe, please hit the notification bell and follow my adventures in golf. Okay, see you all soon everybody. Bye for now.